So do we just go, welcome to Survive Online, the Neil and Larry show.
Hi everyone.
Hi guys. So today we've decided to talk about something that's close to our heart and fundamental to our business. And that is our new launch over at larrylewis.com. So, Neil, introduce what this is all about today.
Right, well, we wanted to go over everything that we've been doing at Larry Lewis. Anybody that's been in on the webinars, doing all the teaching, you know that we have the plans there. We touched base a little bit on what's going on, but in this video we're going to go through everything that we've done, the reasons behind it, and just give you guys an idea of how we're thinking, so that hopefully when it comes to you doing these things, you can actually kind of follow our lead and use the same principles that we've done. So,
and to be honest, this video will be first seen by our beta group, and they are 100% to blame for everything that we have done in the last 2 weeks. So you know who we're talking about, guys. So I'm not sure whether we should say thank you. Yeah, it probably is a thank you, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Well, we solved a lot of problems with it, so we can't complain.
Okay, because by us teaching them the basic starting principles, we had to do something for ourselves, and that was basically, well, if we're going to get them to do it, we said we may as well do it ourselves again, because we haven't done it for 2 years.
Yeah, it's been a while.
So we went through all of our motivations, the things that we wanted to do, the things that we should be doing. We looked at our strengths, our skills, and the whole picture came so obvious what we needed to do. And it first showed us some of the problems, didn't it? That a lot of our time was being spent in the wrong places.
Well, that was the thing, wasn't it? I mean, we weren't the only ones that were complaining, I don't have the time to do things. I mean, we were exactly the same. You've got all the course to build, I had everything else to do, and it was just, well, we don't have the time either. How do we go about this issue?
I suppose that, again, is maybe the big difference about us, that we realise that if a question comes up, there's always a solution. So we had this big dilemma. Our time was getting more and more scarce. It was becoming a scarcity. We were both working stupid hours, and that wasn't the concept of what we were meant to be doing. So we had to look and say, okay, are we spending our time wisely? And that in its own right brought up quite a few issues. We had Neil, and we've mentioned this a few times, spending 3 hours minimum a day packing parcels and arranging them to be posted. And we eventually ended up going to the post office and standing there for an age with your big Father Christmas sack.
Could have been an hour just in the post office, just standing in the queue.
Now, it was a really difficult decision, because we're talking about 80% of our income was coming from selling pots and lotions, or potions, whatever the words are. And having done our sort of what we call the personal development plan, or the business development plan, we realised it wasn't what we want to be doing. And we talked to people about their passions, what they love to do. Neil loves building websites. He's good at it. Do we have to show this guy?
Hopefully.
And he has the ability to create just unbelievable things on static pages. So he enjoys doing that, and he enjoys the challenge of getting it ranked in Google, where I have strengths. My strengths are, I hope, talking, and my strengths are writing, and my strengths are coaching. And in reality, the Reinvention University, which is my long-term love, my long-term goal, my long-term aim, gave us the ideas of what was needed to be done by us now to be able to say, okay, let's stop Swimming Press. Isn't it? It was purely and simply because we know what we want to do with the Reinvention University. We know how important that is. We could do something that the Reinvention University needs us to do down the line. We could do that somewhere else, earning an income from it to enable us to say, okay, let's take this month's gamble, a month with very little income coming in. Thank God for a few little paid-for adverts on Healthy Life, Healthy Living.
Yeah.
But we're not wasting time creating something new. I want to get over to the guys that we're breaking a principle here because we say concentrate on one site. Our main site is allthemissingpieces.com.
Yeah, well, you've never been one for following that rule, but...
By the way, guys, healthylifestyleliving.com is still our top-ranked Alexa site. Just throw that in.
For now.
Because that one just solely depends on my quality of writing. And it's good. Please have a look at it, check it out, give me a bit more traffic.
It's good it was your birthday, I have to be nice.
Oh yes, today's my birthday, guys. That's what he's got me doing. a Survive Online video. Can you believe it? So, okay, so what do we decide we were going to do with LarryLewis.com?
Well, let's get back to Larry Lewis, because although I've just joked about replicating websites, when we actually did the plan,
and we did plan.
It was worth doing for two reasons. One, it wasn't really another course that you have to write.
It's
was
the
just a more advanced
Reinvention
University coach yourself. And then that came along with everything else that we needed to do, which for quite a few people watching, I know that they're interested in this, and that's the coaching others. And it also meant that it was my playground, if you like, for teaching everybody how to build websites and do everything that I did over the last 2 weeks on Larry Lewis. And it's going to be continuing on because what we've just done here and what we're actually showing from this is just the revision 1 stage of Larry Lewis.
And let's make that couple of points that you've made there clear. LarryLewis.com, we started work on that 2 weeks ago. By the time this video is first played, that site will be live. What it was previously was a nothing blog. It had blog posts. It was promoting something we actually never got around to doing. The Never Give Up community.
It was one of these things where we had the plan, but we never, again, that enemy, we never really had the time to do it because we were always doing other things.
So we've taken a site that on a good day was getting 100 people visiting it, that sold nothing, made not a penny. Let me just double check this in my mind. No, that site has never made us any money at all. It is now not only monetized, but it has enabled us to do a couple of things. Number one, the template that will be used for all the missing pieces is being used on Larry Lewis. So everything that we're doing is easily convertible to where we want it to go.
I don't have to go and reinvent the wheel for the other one. It's all there.
Correct.
I've done the hard work in these 2 weeks.
So our main site, which will be allthemissingpieces.com, will just take all the parts it needs from Larry Lewis. Secondly, we knew that to make the Reinvention University work, I need to be able to train other people to become coaches. So we have to do a coach-to-coach course. Now, our All Missing Pieces site wasn't really ready to do that because to get that site off the ground, we need to have completed the Reinvention University and gone a long way down the line to survive online. So Neil quite rightly said, I don't want to bring people to this site to have to go into this course that we're doing, a webinar room, because they're going to see an unfinished site. So we can't do it there. Where can we do it? So we had that issue. Then, of course, we have the issue of we need to make money. So one of the things that has become apparent is that when we run the Reinvention University in August and we open it up to the world, the free course that we're going to do is going to be the course that, as you guys from the beta group have been doing, it's going to have all the webinars that you guys have been doing. The two things it cannot have, purely down to time limitation and utilization of our best resources, because I am obviously the best resource, is I can't be going through everyone's homework, and I can't be doing daily and weekly Skype calls with everybody. So we'd already realised that that part, the homework and the Skype calls, would have to be into a paid-for arena.
Well, it's not only that. I mean, we always had it that the Reinvention University was going to be free, but it was going to be the basics of it. And we know that anybody that's just coming along and taking up the free version of Reinvention University is going to love it just as much as if they'd actually taken on the paid.
Because they're still going to get the webinars. They still get to hear my motivation, my inspiration. They're going to be able to communicate with me in a webinar room. And they're going to have a load of resources in the library, including lots of old webinars. So the resource as a freebie, you know,
it's the best free resource I think I've ever come across.
When you look at most sites, you give away an ebook. You know, not a bad idea. We're great believers in providing value. And to me, being able to provide the Reinvention University with all of its courses, all of its videos, all of its webinars is life-changing. But of course, I would love other people to say, right, I want to be doing this, but I want that bit more. And who are willing to pay. I think we're going to be charging it on all the missing pieces at £50 a month.
Yeah.
But then a lot of the people that go through the Reinvention University will then say, I love this idea of coaching, and will want to become coaches themselves. So what we've really decided to do, rather than having to continue with our supplement store or try and find a new business, we said, look, we know what we're doing on Reinvention. We love the Reinvention. Let's now put it together as a paid-for course together with Coach the Coaches and put it on LarryLewis.com. Now, what it will also show everybody is, here's part of my dream, that in a year's time, in 18 months' time, I've taken through the Reinvention University and I've taken through the Coach the Coaches on Reinvention University 20, 30, 40, 50 people. Then we will be able to create a resource on that site that is promoting our team of coaches. So you've got a choice of male, female. You've got a choice of coaches between 20 and 70 years old. You've got a choice of coaches in the UK, Australia, America, New Zealand, anywhere in the world. And that it's giving people great options, great choice. It's giving people this knowledge that in some of the webinars we'll do, there'll be 10, 20 coaches supporting. But from our coaches' point of view, it's giving them a platform where they can promote themselves, where they can earn money. So everything that we are building on LarryLewis.com, which at the moment just covers Larry as the coach, Larry as the deliverer of the course, we're going to be bringing over to the Reinvention University, allthemissingpieces.com, and what we're doing here, you guys are going to be able to do it there.
Well, that's the other thing. I mean, we never, again, we always say keep it simple.
Stupid.
Yeah. But
He's stupid, I'm simple.
when we get to the concepts behind Larry Lewis compared to, let's say, all the missing pieces, because Reinvention University, Survival 9 and that, that's all on the all the missing pieces umbrella. The two have a different business model, so to speak. At Larry Lewis, you're going to come across this kind of business model if you're using the keep it simple, stupid principle, because it's just a way of getting your services and everything else that you do online and selling now.
And that is a very, very simple model.
Yeah, because that's why I didn't want to use all the missing pieces as the example, because that one is more of a business model like what you get on the gaming websites, where you can go and play for free this game. Now they get like
I wouldn't know. I don't go on
Well,
gaming
they'll
websites.
get thousands of people signing up to play the game online for free. Now, where does this company make their money? They make it because they know that maybe 20% of their marketplace are going to then go and buy this little upgrade to get the super tank or get the super weapon or whatever. Now, we know at Reinvention University,
Oh, to be young again.
we know at Reinvention University, we have many other things that somebody's going to be interested in. And we also know that the Reinvention University course on its own is going to help hundreds, if not thousands of people.
Thousands.
And that was what you wanted to do. You wanted to say, well, no matter what I want to do, I want to put back and I want to help people. So that's why we did that on Reinvention University. That's why it's probably the ultimate sales funnel that I called it in the overview.
But isn't it the ultimate, part of the reason why we're not using that as our demonstration of Thrive Online is it's our ultimate website.
Yes.
We've produced 3 high-quality sites that get great traffic, that do make us money, but they are not what we ever said was our ultimate dream. This site that we are working on is probably not a site that 99.99% of onliners will ever create. Yeah. This is our dream. This is you and my skills.
And that's the thing. Not everybody is going to be as technical minded as me. And to create something like that, you do need to have that support of somebody. Whereas if it's just you on your own, like chances are it's going to be, obviously with our support, but you can't do everything. So
we try.
Yeah. So just for an individual to kind of get started, we're trying to get a more keep it simple approach over at Larry Lewis as an example.
So let's talk about why we believe that the Larry Lewis model is so simple that if these guys have switched their minds on, when we take them through it, when they have a look at it, they are going to start to be able to see what they will be able to do in the future for themselves. So in reality, when you go to the website, you're going to first of all see our homepage. It looks great. Take it away. Describe what they're going to see.
Well,
this is testing whether we can remember it. He's been working on it for the last 24 hours. He's not been to bed yet. But hey, let's just test him.
Well, I think it's getting back to that thing of one of the things, like revision 1 of
Be very careful the word you are going to use shortly, because I know what one of the first most dominant things on that website is. Build the list.
No.
Okay, good. Just reminding you who we are.
No, that's not build the list. That's getting a free trial, and there's a reason behind that. Remember.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, getting back to the original question, if I can remember the original question.
You see, whereas I can always keep on track, which is why you guys can't interrupt me when you're writing in the chat room. Over to you now. Has it given you time to remember what you're talking about?
Well, yeah. Like for revision 1 of Larry Lewis, what we wanted to make sure was live was the coaching course, somebody being able to buy.
That's coach. Which one?
The like coach yourself.
Coach yourself course.
And then the life coaching as well.
And then it's coach the coaches.
So that's yeah, one I'm talking about. One-to-one life coaching.
And then there's one-to-one service.
Yep. So we've got a basis of the model, so to speak. We're still missing that e-commerce element, and we're missing the affiliates, but they're still going to catch up.
But again, we know that this is version 1.
Yes.
That is a 2-week project. So the things that we have straight away on there, we have our product, which is version 1 will give you the Coach Yourself course, 12 modules, where you will receive webinars, where you will receive a forum, you'll get a couple of Skype calls, but it's basically very, very set schedule. And only once you have completed those 12 modules, and there's going to be a little exam at the end of it, then you can step up to the next course, which is learning to coach others. Then we have, as you were saying, the service. What could Larry provide to people that are interested in transforming their lives, changing their lives? Well, he once upon a time ran a very successful life coaching practice. So why can't he, yet again, introduce one-to-one life coaching, doing it online? So we are now offering that as my service at a premium price. If somebody wants life coaching with me, they're going to have to pay £1,000. Now, I used to charge, what, 2.5 years ago, 3 years ago, £800 for 6 sessions. So I actually think £1,000 is a damn good price. Now, everyone thinking about building their own business, a service and a course, makes it very, very simple.
Well, that's what I was going to say, just to give people the difference between a service and something that's like a members area driven thing. The members area driven section is more the teaching area. So
it's my classroom.
Yeah, and for me, if I was doing an IT website, it'll be, maybe how to install Windows 8 or whatever and things like that.
Let's just,
how-to sections.
Again, this is just a message to the beta group. We made a promise to you when we started out that everything that Neil and I did, you would be able to use for free. So you will be able to join both courses. Right, number one, the second course, Coach to Coaches, you'll be the only ones in it for the first 12 weeks at least, because everyone else has to catch up. The Coach Yourself course is the Reinvention University, where each module has been slightly changed because it's been improved. It's the revision of the original, which for the next group who go on to Reinvention University, they'll probably get this new one. So you are more than able to come along and follow the course if you wish. If you are going to be coaches in the future, you better do that because you need to know how the course has now sort of evolved a little bit more. But also you will find that it's his idea. You guys know that there are so many things being offered online. There are so many things that you might be competing against. You've got to be able to find an angle to say to people, look, check us out, because we're really good. And you guys will probably be able to say that Larry Lewis in a webinar is pretty useful. I'm not bad. So what we are doing is when you come to our site, we will say to you, check it all out. Now put your name in there, or put your email in there, and you will have 7 days free on this course, which will enable you to look at Module 1. You won't be able to look at any other modules because they're locked. Why are they locked? Because you're not allowed to go on to Module 2 until you've completed 1 and you've done the homework.
You wouldn't be able to even if you paid for it either.
Correct.
It's the same setup.
The same setup. You've got to do each module in turn, complete the projects, the exercises, send them off to the coach, me in the initial stages, before you're allowed access to the next one. But each of these people on the trial will get to see number 1, and they will get to see a webinar each week whenever they come along. So we are showing them and sharing what they are going to get, which is an awesome way to say, is this right for you? Meet the coach properly, meet the coach and how he delivers.
Yeah, and that's the difference. I mean, when I said before, we're not using it to list build, so to speak. We want people to put the details in so that we can, what our aim for
we are list building that.
Yeah, our aim for it though is to not to use the list building to try and sell any old thing. Our list building is going to be everything that we can come up with for people to be able to take that free trial. That's what we want them to do. We want them to get in on that webinar because we know that if they get in on that, then the chances are after the webinar, they're going to think, I want more of this. And obviously that's your ultimate goal as a sales tool. So rather than capture their email and try and market to them in the emails, our goal is, yeah, I want your email address, but I just want your email address so I can continue on. Have you had the trial yet? And we'll go into like the campaign behind that later on.
Now, everything that they're going to see that we've created there has been done by you or I, down to the videos that we utilize. I laugh because I'm the worst person to look at a video that features Larry. I just cringe, particularly when I go like side profile. Oh my God! But
what a big nose I've got.
Exactly. It was nasty. But at the end of the day, the other thing to recognise is We have got a Logitech webcam sticking on my computer. All the videos are done on there in a lounge where the table's been moved out the way. So there's no studio production, there's no big expense. It's all been done literally from our 2 dining room tables.
I mean, you can, they're so easy to do. You can even do video on an iPad, iPhone, like your Galaxy S4, do a good video. There's no need to be having all these major cameras that cost
Because
$8,000.
we know that Kodak is popular
Yeah, no, but
with our team.
if you have an iPad, you can, or an iPhone, you've got a camera.
Correct. Exactly.
Sorry, we should have told you that sooner.
Save some money, those who haven't got a camera yet. So at the end of the day, there is nothing that we are doing here that you guys couldn't do. And what we're going to get you to do is go through the website. Ask us any questions about it. We'd like your feedback as well, because it's our version 1. There will probably be 2, 3, 4 updates. For example, we know that we're going to build an e-commerce store. The e-commerce store is going to include videos and books that I recommend.
It's going to be the affiliate version, because again, we don't want to be tied down. We kind of gone to all the major book publishers, I suppose, and actually made it so that we had the physical books that we post now, but I don't think we really want to compete with Amazon on that one.
But it's gone back to this issue that we don't want to be wrapping, packing, posting.
Yeah.
It's by us being able to just say, look, if you want this book, this is an affiliate link, go and get it. So we're going to be doing that. We're also going to be doing our own affiliates. So, for example, if somebody brings someone to the Coach Yourself course, we're charging out the course in the initial period at £300. We are going to give our affiliates £90 of that for every person that they send to us. Now, if that same person then upgrades later on and pays an extra £300 to go into the coaching one, they will again get another £90. Mm-hmm. So everything that customer ever spends, they will get an affiliate commission from it. So again, we're developing as we go along. We are using this, 1, because it's our passions. 2, it's the greatest way for us to demonstrate to you guys what you can do and how, I won't say how easy it is, because we've been doing websites for the last 3.5 years.
Well, no, I mean, in reality, that 2 weeks for me is going to be a month, maybe 2 months for somebody else.
And creating a course, like I've done.
Well, that should be easy for them, because that should be their passion.
I've got to say, it's not work, is it?
No.
I love doing it. The Reinvention University side, the way to this, I love it every second I spend. Whether it's writing the program, whether it's delivering the program, whether it's Skype calling, whether it's responding in Facebook. That's just fun, because you're talking to good people about a subject that is not your work, it's your passion. That's the beauty of why we're telling people, find your passion, then the rest of this becomes so easy. So Neil, while I just take some sip of my coffee, what is it we want them to be able to get out of looking at this site for themselves?
Well, again, I'm just going to...
Hopefully you'll cut me out on this bit.
Yeah, okay. We're just going to get back to what I was saying before. I think that anybody who's just starting off, the easiest things to implement first are the members area and the service. Going back to it, the members area is kind of the teaching, and the service is the kind of, right, okay, you're not particularly too bothered about doing all the teaching stuff, I'll just do it for you. That's the difference between the service and the members area. So those 2 things you can get up pretty quick. Because like I say, if I was to do it on the IT side, it would be like how to build a website is the members area, or you don't want to spend the time learning all this, okay, well my services, I'll build it for you. And obviously your service is going to be charged at a lot higher than what any membership things you're going to do. So that's the difference between them. And I think that they're the 2 things that are pretty much easy to do and get set up straight away.
The one thing I just do want to say, well, I want a bit of caution. There is a conversation that we constantly have. We've looked at a lot of other sites that offer, I wouldn't say similar to us because we can't find sites that do, but we look at other life coaching courses, other personal development courses that will provide the same sort of stuff that we do, which is the modules, the homework, live webinars, interaction with an actual mentor. Most of those courses are priced at something like £1,500 to £2,000. We know that when you come to do something similar, really research your prices, because we know we're giving this away. We know that £300 for the first and £300 for the second is absolutely giving it away. And you've got to work out to yourself what is the right price. Because this to us is just testing ground for what we really want to do over at the Reinvention University, we can afford to price this at a low price because we're also not targeting that many people. I think at max we're saying maybe 50. When we launch it properly at the Reinvention University, we're talking about we want to deal with a lot more people. But make sure you don't sell too cheaply. Don't follow our example in this particular case. Pricing your product is so important. Is it better to give a price where, let's look at our price. At £300, 10 people were going to earn £3,000. But if we were pricing it at £1,000, what would those 10 people earn you?
Well, I would say that what you want to do is you want to make sure that you've got a pricing level for anybody. So you've got the top of the range price.
No, you don't cost the range.
No, I'm not like the cost of each. No, the top of the range one is going to be your service. It's going to be the one, right? You don't have the time, whatever reasons you come up with, that you can't do this particular thing, but you want to know.
Your GP, in my mind, is the one that you can actually make a lot of money from. I am determined, and I'm making this public knowledge, that my Never Give Up book will be finally completed. And that will probably be something like, £12.95, available from all good bookstores, and which will be on the New York Times bestsellers list. Just setting myself a few goals. And, you do start with something like that, but again, put a value to it. Now, I know that we're all used to ebooks being given away free, but in truth, when you get those freebies, they're normally pretty useless and short, 20 pages. At the moment, without being revised and edited, I think Never Give Up to about 195 pages and still going.
I would never say do a free ebook or anything. I would probably, for anything that you do, I'd probably follow our example on what we've done on Larry Lewis. Give somebody a limited period to trial your product for free. Because it should be at a level where if somebody trials it, they're going to think, wow, I want more of it. That's going to be the convincer rather than, I'll just give away a free book and hope that somebody can try.
But also remember, you can go anywhere with this, because with life coaching, I used to do all my life coaching offline. Now, it would be very simple for me to put a page targeting North East England and saying that I will go into any businesses and do workshops for your staff or do one-to-one coaching with your staff. So again, it uses that example of where you are able to have both an offline business and an online business. And in truth, I think as we're demonstrating this to our people, that should be something that we did. Because we're using it as our example of the service that you can build.
We always said
there should
be an offline and online.
So I think we need to demonstrate this.
Is that revision 2?
That's revision 2. What is this site going to show them?
It's going to give them a blueprint. It doesn't necessarily have to be their blueprint. It's just we thought that the Larry Lewis site was a better example of the most common scenario of what people are going to come across compared to the old missing pieces website. So that's one of the, and again, the Larry Lewis bit is my training ground. I'm going to be able to teach people exactly how we've done things. And it's not just how we set the site up and all that palaver. It's everything that we've got in the background, the lists that we've used, the emails that we've used, the Facebook advertising, all that is to come.
Well, we've actually said in probably about 2 weeks' time, the Survive Online module will be what marketing we have utilised to promote LarryLewis.com.
So like I say, it's ultimately the playground for us to show everybody a keep it simple, stupid website to go on to be the example for the.
So if I was them, if I was in their shoes and I was getting this site, I would then look at the sites and I would say, okay, with what my passion is, what I want to be doing, following this sort of template, this is the pages I would want. You know, we're giving them that ability now to actually look ahead and work out what pages do I want, what services do I want, what products do I want.
They should already have the answers to that.
Mm-hmm.
They should now just have a graphical way of looking at it and going, all right, so this is what I could do. This is the kind of thing that I could do with all this information that I've gathered. You know, that's kind of where they should be at this point.
And once they've done that part, what we've also worked out is, you'll have noticed we've not come back to you on your recent module work. Once you've looked through this and given yourself a little bit of an idea to maybe do a mind map of where you see your site in the future, then send that to us. Once we've got those two pieces, we're then going to work with each of you just on one Skype call. We'll get the pair of us together. Sorry, Neil, you're going to do that. So we can take you through everything that you've written and supplied to really now be in a position where you're at a good starting point. And then the mechanics come into play. So on that note, my tummy is saying I need some birthday cake.
Well, just lastly,
It's only lastly, but you just say this.
Well, what I want to actually say is, now that we've gone through some of the concepts in this video, what we want you to do is go and check the website out, have a look around, and just gather any questions, because I'm actually on holiday next week. So I think, although I'll still be around, I'll still be working, I'll still be in the webinars, but I think the next Survive Online webinar will be a good kind of like the question and answer session. So if you've got any questions there, then obviously we can address those in the next webinar.
And we apologise if during the webinar, when this is first shown, that we're not very talkative, but we might both be in a state of depression that even I as a life coach will not be able to sort out if Uruguay happen to beat England. You'll all have noticed that we've not spoken to Lodi Makuchi this week because of where he originates from. So, Lodi. Right, now the final note, you've all requested that you can hear Neil, the DJ, sing. So, happy birthday song.
No, definitely won't get me singing. Definitely not.
Oh, no.
I'll put the happy birthday song on this, but don't get me to sing it.
Now I'm broken-hearted. Guys, we will see you in the webinar. This is Larry Lewis.
This is Neil Haywood. See you next time.
Bye.